Cinemanarrative dissonance. Aside from just being a fun word to say, cinemanarrative dissonance is when two different aspects of a movie clash, whether it is the story and the camera work or the marketing. For example, Magic Mike is a story about the dark side of stripping, how it starts out as a relatively easy life with plenty of girls and money, but quickly slides into an inescapable, self-destructive lifestyle of drugs and broken relationships. Except the camera, the promotion, and the collective societal memory is all about hot guys and extremely sexy dance scenes. I am dead serious. I couldn't find a single promotional image about the actual theme of the movie. On the same note, 50 Shades of Grey was about Anastasia's reluctance and fear of the BDSM lifestyle and Christian Grey's, quite frankly, abusive behavior. It ends with Anna leaving Grey over his excessive lifestyle. Except it's shot as, and people remember it as, a raunchy love story. For goodness sake, it was released on Valentine's Day. And let's not even get started on Rent. Or Phantom of the Opera, the tale of the obsessed serial killer who has fangirls squealing about how much they want to go on an underground gondola ride. However, the biggest example is actually war movies, which often have the theme of how horrible war is, but end up focusing on cool explosions and dashing heroism. You also get a similar scenario when the villain is more persuasive than the heroes. I'm not just meaning people loving the villain or even wanting them to win. I mean when you end up thinking, well, the villain is right and our heroes are stupid or crazy. When different parts of a story clash in presenting two different things, it creates dissonance that makes the audience uncomfortable. Of course, dissonance can be deliberately invoked. This is often achieved by cheerful music to horrific events, and the result is meant to either amuse or disturb the audience. Now, this entire trope is somewhat reminiscent of the anti-drug and anti-smoking ads that made it look so attractive. Sure, there'll be a ton of peer pressure of really cool people that make you want to do drugs, but don't! It's little wonder that the resist peer pressure-based campaigns such as DARE have at the very least been ineffective, and multiple studies have concluded that they actually increase drug use. The audience can see when there's an internal conflict in your story. This is especially prominent in games, as ludonarrative dissonance is an even more prominent issue when gameplay and story clash. Take Control, which I reviewed a few weeks ago. It's supposedly a horror game based off the SCP Foundation, but your character is a superhero-level chosen one. The power of your character completely undermines the fear you're supposed to be feeling from the situation. This is also the central problem in the new Star Wars trilogy. The entire first 6 movies have a running theme about how easy it is to find your way down the dark side. Even righteous fury, such as vengeance for a loved one or fighting to save your friends, can easily become a deal with the dark side. Once you tap into it, even for good cause, it's addictive and it requires vigilance, discipline, and training to avoid that path. However, that's thrown out the window with Rey, who really has no reason not to join the Empire. Her life on the Republic was barely more than a slave. She has no family and knows no one enough to call a friend aside from Finn. In Last Jedi, she has no training and almost limitless power, a perfect catalyst for falling to the dark side, and yet she ignores it without even the hint of temptation. That abandonment of a core theme of all the prior movies, books, and games caused fans just to abandoned the franchise left and right. Of course, books aren't immune from this either. In a literonarrative dissonance, Tolkien himself fell into this trap with Faramir. In the book, the young prince rejects the ring completely, saying that he would not take it if he found it on the side of the road. This statement undermines the core theme and nature of the ring as a near omnipotent corrupting force. It's diminished to simply a magical trinket that can be resisted with sufficient will, and all those people were just weak who fell to it. This was one thing Jackson wisely changed for the better. Everyone has weaknesses, and only the truly strong and divinely protected, like Galadriel, Gandalf, and Aragorn, can resist the ring sufficiently just to let Frodo keep it, while even good men like Bilbo and Boromir were consumed by it. If the Gondorian princes had gotten the ring, it would have easily twisted these heroes into the very villains that they were trying to fight. To compare, the movie forced Faramir to see the corrupting influence of the ring before he realizes just how devastating it would be to use it. And this preserves the power of the ring in the mind of the audience, where it was actually pretty diminished in the mind of the reader. In the end, all of these dissonances are caused by conflicts at different parts of the work. If you have a strong theme running through your book, movie, or game, you need all of the parts of the story to support that. This includes not only the script, but visuals, gameplay, and yes, even the marketing needs to be consistent with the theme of your work. Thanks for listening, y'all.